Welcome to another episode of Unboxing Entrepreneurship. There are many mompreneurs who have created a product out of something that their child needs. But what does it take to convert that product into a scalable business? I'm going to talk to Deepti, who's the founder of Doughremom, and she's going to share her journey. Let's get right into it. Hi, Deepti. Welcome to Unboxing Entrepreneurship.
Hi, Pallavi. I'm overwhelmed to be here. This is like wow for me, but then thank you so much for having me. I love talking about entrepreneurship because this is what I've been doing for the past 4 years, and I'm learning so much out of it. So I love talking about it.
Awesome. So we are really looking forward to hearing your experience, and I've got a thought behind what I want to ask you. But before that,
Mhm.
firstly, your brand name is really interesting. So tell us about what Doughremom is.
To be very, very honest, when I entered into making this as a business, like selling Play-Doh, I
Hmm.
had I never thought about what name should I keep. And that
Hmm.
time my son was like 3.5 or something. So we प्यार से कभी कभी we tell, no, you're such a dodo, you're such a dodo. It's like
Yeah.
a bird, I think it's a bird.
Yeah.
So then I said, this is so nice. Play-Doh, Dodo. So I
Hmm.
kept my name as Play-Doh.
Hmm.
Dodo, sorry.
Hmm.
And then 2 years down the lane, after I do a lot of Instagram and all, I get a legal notice from Hashbro, the company Play-Doh, saying that DOH is their registered trademark. I was so naive. I don't know. I should say naive or dumb that I didn't know anything
Hmm.
about business. I didn't know
Hmm.
anything about trademark rights. I didn't know anything about copyrights. बस मन में अच्छा लगा ये लगा लो और चलो चलो. And then I was like, okay, this is a serious issue. And I mean, had I known, I wouldn't have spent so much time and energy building a brand on the name Dodo.
Absolutely.
So then, yeah, I took a help of professionals. We sat together. They asked me, what do I want to convey as a brand? They are
Hmm.
very professional. They ask you some 10 questions and then you answer. And
Hmm.
they gave me 2, 3 options.
Hmm.
I saw जिसके ऊपर domain host name was available. पहले वो book किया, फिर नाम book किया. So then we get smarter, as you go
Yeah.
through the whole process, then you become smarter कि जिसका Instagram और सोशल मीडिया मिल रहा है, होस्टिंग डोमेन मिल रहा है, वही नाम चूज करेंगे. And
Absolutely.
then I chose Doughremom, and by that time I already hired a legal
Hmm.
advisor, and he
Hmm.
is from Kerala. Now
Hmm.
I don't know whether it is the Kerala accent or actually Dough is called Duff. So
Hmm.
he would call me Duffre mom, and I was like, later people are like, didn't you know even sounds like is not allowed because
Hmm.
Dore mom sounds like something.
Yeah.
And I kept telling him, it sounds like this. He couldn't understand maybe, or he's too smart that he's telling me, you don't worry, it's going to happen. And he said that we will get the trademark, and now
Hmm.
we have the trademark, and we are registered, and it's like an official name, Doraemon.
Doughremom. Got it. So, by the
So
way,
that's the story.
I went through the same thing with my startup. My startup was called Neve Magazine, but our logo was only Neve. It had the word Neve. And I think 3 years down the line, Neve Academy in Bangalore, they reached out to us and said, by the way, this name is registered with us, so you're not allowed to use it. And we went into panic mode because we had been publishing our magazine for 3 years with that name and everything. So then, we changed it to Neve Magazine, which was fine, but I totally resonate with, what
I
you've gone
was,
through.
it was as if when I am just casually opening that letter, मेरे पाँव से, I don't know if Hindi is allowed a little bit, but
Go on.
actually मेरे पाँव से जमीन खिसक गई. I was like, what is this? How can, for me, getting a legal notice was like a big thing. And
Yeah.
cut to just then my husband started dancing. Pallavi, I can't tell you how angry I was at that time. I said, are you crazy? He's like, it's just the name. Don't worry. You're becoming popular. People are noticing
You
you.
have arrived.
And that company has spent about 5 to 6 lakhs just to talk to you. So be
Hmm.
happy about it. And I was like, no, I don't want all these things. I want it to be very smooth, and I don't, want to do. He's like, it's
Hmm.
okay, chill. this can be
Hmm.
handled. And yes,
Hmm.
it was pretty much handled. Even these people were very, very nice who
Hmm.
approached, and they were very professional, and it was not
Hmm.
difficult.
Hmm.
So I
Got it.
think, yeah,
All
don't get
right.
panicked if you get a legal notice, is my uh, giveaway to
Lalin.
entrepreneurs that everything can be handled at our limits. So just don't be panicked.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the first time that you have become an entrepreneur, and obviously there are a lot of learning experiences that you're going through, which is going to be the theme of our conversation today. But so you started Doughremom with with a personal objective, right? And then you converted it into a business. Talk us through that story a little bit.
So thing was, so I did my master's in biochemistry,
Hmm.
and as was written, I got married when I was
Hmm.
studying my second year of master's. My
Hmm.
husband is a dentist, so he was doing his last year of master's, and I was doing my last year of
Hmm.
biochemistry. And after that, it was more so like I'm in a Marwari community, and who works, and we have a
Hmm.
family business, and we do that.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, now that I've studied so much, I can't go for job and all. So what do I do of my studies, right? So
Hmm.
that whole biochemistry that I had studied helped
Hmm.
my husband to complete his biochemistry paper because he
Hmm.
had no idea about what biochemistry was. So I
Hmm.
still remember those 2 months, how much I have put the Krebs cycle and this cycle in his head. So I thought,
Hmm.
acha, that is why I studied biochemistry, because I had to teach my husband biochemistry. So after that, I didn't do anything with biochemistry, but I always had this inclination towards teaching. I
Hmm.
knew that teaching comes very naturally to me, so I can
Hmm.
do something with that. So whenever
Hmm.
I mean when I conceived my son, I was like, I'm going to teach him everything in my mom, like my educator style. Like I
Hmm.
don't like focus on the concept. I first believe on hands-on learning and then come to the
Hmm.
concept. So like
Hmm.
that, I used to do a lot of activities with him.
Hmm.
And Play-Doh came to our life at one point that I was like, this is such a versatile, you know,
Hmm.
um, I should say, tool to teach children so many wonderful and amazing things.
Yeah.
So I started using Play-Doh, and then again, those same problems gets dried too easily. Again, I have to keep buying, and didn't know what kind of chemicals were there if I was not around. How do I, leave it with him?
Hmm.
Stuff like that. And then I was like, "ठीक है, थोड़ा research करते हैं." And then I started
Hmm.
researching. I understood
Hmm.
how this could be made, and at the same time, during that research, I got another article from an American laboratory or something. I don't remember the exact name. I do have that document still, which says that these were the
Hmm.
chemicals which are present in the Play-Doh. So they
Oh.
were like some surfactants and phenols and a disinfectant and borax as a preservative. So
Hmm.
then I was like, "Nahi, this is not what I'm going to give my son." So then
Hmm.
um, I gave it a try. I did a lot of wastage. My
Hmm.
mother-in-law used to always see like, "Aaj to bahut waste hone wala hai."
Hmm.
It didn't like actually come out the way it comes out now, but
Yeah.
it took time. I started doing
Yeah.
my own permutation and combination,
Hmm.
and the same time I started doing small mom toddler sessions at my place.
Hmm.
One of the class was for Play-Doh, and
Hmm.
how you can use this versatile tool for teaching or playing with your child. Parents
Hmm.
loved it. They're like, okay, we've
Hmm.
never seen such a nice soft texture quality. We want to
Hmm.
buy.
Hmm.
That was the day when this all started.
Hmm. Nice, nice. And that was how many years ago?
This was around 2019.
2019. Got it. Okay. So that's how you started. Now you did talk about, you told me before that, you went and put up some stalls and you started selling it. Was there a transition period where you had to kind of change what you were
Honestly,
talking about?
there was no the parents didn't give me that time as a breather to uh, think about putting up a stall. So the parents
Hmm.
were like, no, we like this. We are there to buy this. We want you
Hmm.
to like, one of the person was again into some community that time. So they were
Hmm.
like, we are putting this pop-up. You just have to put your Play-Doh there.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, while I went to buy the boxes for Play-Doh in City Market, I thought about the name. Like, Acha, we'll keep it the name as Dodo. It was as I didn't have a transition time because my classes were running full-fledged. I never thought of doing this as a business because I used to be so busy with my classes.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, chalo, let's do it. And then I put up a stall, and I think the first purchase was a lady of not even a child. Like she had a grown up. She's
Hmm.
like, this is good. I want to buy this.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, why would I mean, grown up like buy? And then, her thing was saying that, I wish it was there during my child's time, but I still
Hmm.
have time that my child can play with it. So she just
Hmm.
picked it up. And that day, the sales really did well. And
Hmm.
I was like, that was like my customer validation that I
Yeah.
should go for.
Yeah. Was your business registered by then or not?
No, no, nothing was registered. I made logo on Canva. So I
Got
had
it.
no idea what I was, I mean, there was no formal business planning or anything. It was just like,
Hmm.
you put, we are there. We want you to see this and see. And I was like, why will anybody buy it from me? It is so cheaply available. And
Hmm.
what I make for myself is not cheap at all. I put
Yeah.
in a lot of money to make it. And
Hmm.
when compared to what it is available outside.
Yeah.
So just happened, and then I saw that there is a market for this. And
Hmm.
by that time, I didn't see anybody in India formally selling Play-Doh, like a
Yeah.
handmade, mom-made
Hmm.
Play-Doh was not seen in India. I never came across any Instagram, though later, some people approached and said, we do it for our school. We do it,
Hmm.
I did it as for my child, and things like that. But nobody was formally selling a taste safe, lab certified Play-Doh.
Yeah, yeah. So your advantage, of course, is that you are a parent yourself, so you understand what goes into the Play-Doh, and what kind of safety levels you need to keep. But the disadvantage
Mhm.
also, of course, is that there are other parents who are buying from you. So, and they are extremely discerning about what the components are, what the materials are. So, did you have to think about lab certification from day one, or is that something that came about organically as well? Did somebody question you or ask you?
I'm telling you, this is just a journey of learning, executing. Till now,
Yeah,
I've been doing this. I have no formal education in business, as I told you.
yeah.
So when I did my first pop-up was in a college by
Hmm.
our community and one of the parent.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, then the second one was in, I don't know, it's called What a Brew on Kanakpura Road. It was
Hmm.
newly opened that time, and there was a
Hmm.
pop-up there, and I put,
Hmm.
and it was for kids art and everything.
Hmm.
And there a parent asked me, how are you so sure that it is safe? I said,
Yeah,
भाई मैं बनाती हूँ, मुझे पता है क्या जा रहा है अंदर. I am making it. He's like, we cannot rely on you saying I am making it, right?
yeah,
And that was my first. It was like it was like a small, I can't say a slap, but a pinch on my face that, dude, you're not the advocate here.
yeah.
You are a seller, and you
Hmm.
can't say that, I'm a mom educator and this and that.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
then we had to get the lab certification done. I
Hmm.
was like, I'm claiming it that it is food safe, I mean, taste safe for children. So I have to go to a food lab. I got
Yeah.
it from a very NABH accredited lab, and
Hmm.
that showed that this was preservative free,
Hmm.
pesticide free, heavy metal
Hmm.
free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I showed those lab, like, till then I had like 400, 500 followers on Instagram. I
Yeah.
made like a big ha 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 over it and on the stories, like, see, I have some certificate and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how, again, it was a learning process that this is important. And now
Yes.
we are getting into other certifications as well. Now, as we are growing, we need to go to different marketplaces. Like
Absolutely.
now, they are asking for bigger certifications, which I am planning to get it done.
Yeah, yeah. So you're now actually converting your passion into a business, with small steps. And I think that's important to understand that passion aside, you can create whatever you want and there will always be a market for it. But if you want to scale and make it into a business, there are certain things that you need to follow because every audience will ask you for some sort of credibility. In your case, it was
Yeah.
obviously the lab certification, but for other products, it would be something totally different.
Every product, like, now we are now that I'm taking this seriously, and networking with people. Even I didn't know that even a skin cream which we just buy as somebody's making at home has to go through rigorous tests. So those tests are expensive. Like, they are not like, just we made a product and let's sell, but it's expensive. Like, even for the test that we all have to go through, or the food lab test that I got it done, was expensive. It does not come like acha 1000 2,000 de diya in the lab. So all that a lot goes behind making something and selling something. In fact, I got more respect for people who work, though it is a small business or a big business, after I understood the challenges of running a business.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So now that you're thinking about scaling in the next few years, what kind of business decisions do you think you're going to be making, which are going to be difficult, whether personally or professionally?
A lot of them. Like, every day, I think I'm making one decision which is, okay, aise karna padega. It is not easy, but it's not impossible. Also, I'm not being gender biased here, but there are few decisions that you will have to take before your family.
Right.
Keeping your family in mind, keeping your children in mind, because as I told you, I come from a Marwadi family, and here it's not that easy to get into the groove of saying that Aaj I'm going to office, I don't have the time to stay at home.
I see.
So there are these small things, but now after 4 years, like, everybody knows that I am trying to build something, and they are very happy, and they're super supportive, and they don't, like, now they don't question. But there are a lot of like, now there are decisions of how much money do I invest. Even
Yeah.
bigger decisions of whom do I invest the money in.
Yes.
So these are the kind of decisions. When we are a small business, you don't have to think about all this, because you are capable of handling most of the things. But as you're growing, you need to make these difficult decisions, and you have to trust the whole process, and trust people who you are hiring, and get them to do your work, and get them to be one step ahead of you. All these are the difficult decisions that we'll have to keep taking on day by day by day.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Just to wrap it up, then, is there something that you would like to say to other mompreneurs out there? What was your learning, or anything you want
Trust
to
me,
share?
Pallavi, there is a lot to say. Okay. But I would just say one thing, that if you think that, that is something that keeps coming back to you, and say, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And if you have even like 20% trust on your idea, go into it, go for it, and don't think about getting it perfect at once. Start
Yeah.
doing it. Iterations will keep happening on the way. New
Hmm.
ideas will keep coming on the way.
Hmm.
Change is the only thing constant I've learned in life, right?
Hmm.
So if you think that this is not working, you can change things around you. But if there is
Yes.
something that's knocking your head every day, that I want to try this, then don't think twice before starting it. Just start. You'll always end up with a profitable business or a lot of learning. In both the cases, it's always a win-win. You don't have to always be a successful business, but you
Hmm.
can always be a successful human being.
Very well said. I think that's the motivation people needed. And strangely enough, the change actually is the most difficult part for entrepreneurs, because they're so married to their idea that the thought that, oh my God, I have to change it even slightly to suit my audience is probably the most difficult bit. But given your experience, I hope that other people are inspired as well, especially mompreneurs, given the challenges
I think
specific to
I'm
them.
always open to change, and it's very easy to say than done that I'm open to change. But yes, I am learning. This is the growth mindset, and I believe
Yeah.
that that's what is more important to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Deepti. And it was a pleasure having you on Unboxing Entrepreneurship.
Same here, Pallavi. Thank you so much for having me, and making me go through the memories 4 years back, and making me smile about it.
No worries. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.